Good morning. I wanted to start today's timeline video by pulling an oracle card. I've been moving through some dense energy, and I haven't really been relying on my practices to help support myself. I've been, as I'm sure you've experienced in your life, I've been absorbed in my pursuit, my quest, and when I get free time or just time to create or do something, I have been creating videos and clips and commenting and just kind of like dreaming and scheming and thinking about this YouTube channel and thinking about all of you wonderful people and just getting excited about, what it is that we're co-creating together. So, like I try to say every day, thank you so much for being here. If you are, leave me a comment, tell me about what music you're listening to, what books are you reading, what topics are you interested in. I love getting to learn about new things. I've been emailing a couple of you, and we've been having really amazing discussions and, sending resources and just sharing knowledge, and it feels really special to me. So thank you so much. Gosh, and I hope what I said earlier about using my free time to do this, like, I'm not saying I'm so happy to be doing it, but if you've also ever experienced trying to do something new in your life, there's kind of like, I like to think of it like a pie chart of your life. And so right now, the pie chart is always full. Like, you're always at 100% capacity, right? And like, just the different sections, like the percentages of what you're doing can change. And so if like work occupied 28% and yoga was 12% and sleeping was like 50%, whatever you're doing or introducing or leaving in your life, the numbers of the pie chart just shift. And so where I would wake up and maybe say do yoga every day, I've been waking up and recording or making clips or sending emails. So just the percentages in my pie chart have shifted. And that's okay, because yoga is always going to be there. Meditation is always going to be there. Pulling oracle cards is always going to be there. Just the percentage of what I'm doing will shift with time. And the cool thing is, like, when you start something, you spend a lot of time doing it because you're learning, you're new, you have a lot of skill development that needs to be done. You don't sleep as much. And then once you get proficient at it, then your body can not go on autopilot. We've pulled this one before. I'm not saying that it's not good, but I'm gonna pull a different message. It reminds me of Jacob. And so there's, if you're a parent, you're aware potentially. If you're not a parent, you may have heard of like sleep regressions. And they're saying sleep regressions because the babies wake up quite frequently, and sometimes they wake up and they don't want to sleep. But it's actually not like a regression, it's actually a progression in brain development, because they're learning a brand new skill. So these regressions tend to happen with skills like crawling, walking, and talking, because those are like three, or like even probably potty training, I don't know, but like clapping. One of Jacob's was clapping. Like, he would wake up in the middle of the night and he would just start clapping because he learned this new skill and he wants to like solidify. They want to like solidify it in their brain. And same with crawling and walking. They like wake up and they practice their skill in the middle of the night because they're just their brains are developing so quickly. And I think that we can learn from that, because when we're doing or learning a new skill, it's a little bit all-consuming. And that's okay, because it'll eventually become integrated into our lives, and then it just is, right? Then we're on to the next cool thing. Or practicing something that we haven't thought about for a while. Are you learning any new skills? Are you, like, what are you learning? What are you practicing? Is anyone like learning guitar, piano? Is anyone singing? That one. We've had this one before too. The Well Maiden. The voice of the other world. Was I journaling? Was I writing? Did I talk about it? Oh, I sent an email. I was sending an email to... Is it Indescribable Me? Gosh, I'm so sorry if I've got that wrong. You've left a couple of comments, and then we've been emailing, and thank you. So, I sent an email last night, and we were talking about, I kept using the imagery of like tapping into the well of everything, of the other world, right? Of spirit, of emotion, of joy, of possibility, of like, of everything. Like, I just love the image of tapping into a well, because it's like the flow that comes out from that point is magical. And I just love this card. Like, also somebody told me that I should not cry, but it's something that I think that, it's the same person. Yeah, this is the same email. So thank you so much for commenting. And, you know, hopefully my written words kind of came through. I have so much emotion and energy flowing through me, and like I recognize that, and I'm very quick to having it just like wells up in my body, comes into my throat, gets stuck, and then my eyes start like stinging, and like, you know, the tears, they want to come out. And you know, I have this well inside of me, and I just tap into it, and like it just all comes out. I feel so much. But I'm trying to, you know, keep that energy within myself, and not push it down. I think that's the important thing. I think there's a big difference between allowing the emotions to live and then be recycled within the body. And then there's the letting the emotions come up, and then we like smush them down, and we say, no, you are not allowed a seat at the table. There's like, there's a way to bring it up and then cycle it through and let it disperse, as opposed to like shoving it down and being like, you don't belong here, like you should, like there's like the shame and the guilt. And I don't think that that is a healthy way to utilize that communication from your system, in my opinion. I think that this vulnerability that I used to have on one of my vision boards, it, you know, maybe it said maybe vulnerability is strength. And I'm not saying that that's crying, because that is a certain vibration that is so useful. That release, like so necessary, you know, so necessary to allow it to release. Gosh, I lost that train. I think in order to, you know, like I love like the voice of the other world. Like this feels like this, you know, it feels like I have been initiated. It feels like I've been initiated through this type of work, and through having this channel and communicating to all of you. It feels like initiated into being a voice of the other world. And, you know, sometimes it's called being a channel. Sometimes it's called being an intuitive, sometimes an energy worker. Like, there's so many ways that you can, you know, try to describe. But I think Jai Dave said it in his, in the last webinar he did for Life Force Academy. He's like, you know, he's talking about Sat, and he's like, the meaning gets lost in translation. You know, Sat means truth, and it's so easy for us to be like, well, what is truth, and what does that encompass? And it, like, we can argue the semantics of the word, especially something that's been in our lives for thousands of years across varying cultures, like, and things have been transcribed through varying languages. And then it's like, language is so generation specific. And like, I'm gonna use generation in like a broad, well, no, generation specific. There's so many terms that these Gen Zs use and these Gen Alphas that I'm like, I have no idea what these words are. And then the same is true for like my parents, you know, like my dad will still say grody, and I'm like, what is this word? You know, it's like, language is generation specific. So Sat means truth, and it's like, we can, you know, channel. It's like, we can argue about the semantics of it, but like, what does that mean? You know, and to me, this is what I would describe myself as: a well maiden, someone who's able to tap in to the living vitality that is herself and this world. Because I believe I am, oh, right, here we go. Like, let's recycle that, you know? It's not sadness. It's like, it's truth to me. It's truth, right? Like, it's like, this is the resonance in my body of saying, this is why I'm here. This is what I'm meant to be doing. And like, tapping into that truth is like, it's like an upgrade to your body. It's a knowing, it's a response. It's like, it's a lot. It's like a lot. It's a lot, and amazing and beautiful. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for my emotionality and my sensitivity, because it allows me to tap in. Also, like, look at this plate of food. Oh, I love food. I love fresh food. I want to grow. I want a big garden. I've like dabbled over the years. I've dabbled, and I'm getting better. Like, I'm learning. There's so many things. Like, even like, the squirrels like to eat my tomatoes. Oh, but like, I'm also inviting them into onto my deck now, which is probably gonna literally, I mean, I'm gonna have to deal with the squirrels. Like, we have to live in harmony with them, and like, I want them to be fed, but I don't want them to steal my tomatoes. I want to gift them the tomatoes, but I don't want them to steal them. This morning I woke up, and I have been giving them like peanuts and sunflower seeds, like around my deck, and there was a couple of them just like, they're just like waiting, they're just looking at me, and I was like, oh, hey friends. So I got some, and I just like opened the door, and they stayed, and so I just like threw out like a couple of peanuts, and then they like looked at me, and they're like, okay, do we trust this girl? But they're like, okay, we've been here for a couple of days, like, the food's been good, like, I think she's good people. And so like, they eventually go, and then they get their peanut, and they run up on the deck, or on the ledge, and I just keep throwing them some peanuts, and like, they're getting so close, they're looking me at the eye, like, they're just eating their peanut, and like, and they're just like assessing out the situation. They know that I'm there, and then all of a sudden there's 4. And I was like, whoa, hi all of you. And then by that point, Sadie was like, what is going on? The back door's on. So I had it open, and Sadie loves to go and chase squirrels. Like, she's a dog, of course she does. And so I like have her behind me, and I'm like trying to get her to sit, but she's just like on high alert, and I'm like whispering to her, like, it's okay, these are friends. It's okay, just sit. Like, these are friends, not food. Name that movie. And she's pretty calm, and she but then when this went, so I opened the door a little bit more because there was like a group of them and I had thrown them everywhere. And then they realized that Sadie was there. And I remember reading once that squirrels have a bunch of different ways of communicating to indicate, like, if there's a land predator, or like an air predator, or like they just have all these ways of communicating. So they saw Sadie, and all of a sudden the tails started moving in this very specific fashion, and their tone, they were emitting like this tone, so they were like communicating to one another. And I'm pretty sure that it was like, there's a ground beast, so be careful. And then I was like, oh, I hope they don't think that I'm like throwing food at there to like lure them in for like my dog. I was like, I hope they don't think that. I was like, this is a friendly house, we want you to be here. But I had to I had to be careful, because I was like, I don't want them to be like, there's a predator, like we're in danger. But yeah, so this progressed for like, I think this was like a 15-minute adventure this morning. It was great. But yeah, and then so eventually I was just sitting there, and like they were hanging out. There was 4 of them. Beautiful bushy tails. They were communicating to one another, and looking at me. They were so close, like they came so close to the door. And then I had a handful of stuff, and I'm like, I went to, and I lined the rest of the deck. And they didn't like run away. Like they were actually like, I mean, they were a little bit further, but yeah, I just lined the deck, and I was like, enjoy, friends. Thank you so much for hanging out on my deck. It's great. And Sadie was like, Mom, let me at him. Like, I'm so sorry. We're gonna give him deck. We'll let you out soon. I'm so excited to have a house with land and a garden. I want to grow my own food, and I want to have all my animal friends come visit me. There's a house I want. Here I am again. I'm seriously trying to manifest a house with in this moment, I'm like, I'm an abundant being, but I have no, I don't have the real world practical stuff that the bank wants. I just have magic. And magic is all I need. Like, it's gonna happen. But I'm trying to manifest. I mean, magic, and it all, you bring it in, it comes out in this physical nature, and then you can, bring that Who wants to talk about manifestation? George, right? Yeah, George, you want to talk about manifestation? It's such a big topic, and I want to do it justice. So we will, I still haven't sent you, I look out for that today, my friend George. I'm going to send you a little video and a message, probably through Buy Me a Coffee, just so that we can keep our conversation there to start. But I promise that we'll talk about manifestation. It's something that I think I allude to, but I haven't had a full discussion. So we'll save that for a story for another day. I think there's a lot to unpack, and I'm not the type of person that's been like, you sometimes see online like how to manifest $100,000 in 6 weeks. How to manifest your dream body. I'm not really, and you can probably tell, like, I'm not a quick fix kind of person. You can take literally 3 minutes and shift your mindset. I believe that, sitting down for 3 conscious breaths will make a shift. It may not be like bliss state, but it's going to make a shift. So I believe that you are in control. There's all the external factors, but I believe that you are in control of your own actions, which then will manifest into the life that you want to live. So I think the way that I will go about communicating about manifestation is little shifts that you can make to align to your timeline, so that your dreams and realities manifest in a way that are sustainable and actually what you want, because I do believe that there's that, again, that quick fix, that piece of manifestation where, like, if you're like, I want to manifest, and no judgment if this is the language that you use, great. Whatever is amazing, right? However you wanna go through it is great. So everything that I say is just my personal opinion, and it's not that I think anything is wrong. I think that there's just different language or like little tweaks that we can make in order to make shifts so that the achievement in the journey is both enjoyable, sustainable, and aligned with the correct cycle in your life. If that connects. So yeah, we'll talk about manifestation a little bit more. I think that's a great topic. So thank you so much for suggesting that. I'm gonna do a quick little circle back and say, I'm not the type of person that's I haven't manifested $100,000. I haven't manifested buying a house with, no job and no down payment, and I haven't manifested that yet. So, but I want to, and I'm aligning myself so that it'll happen in divine timing. And there's the most beautiful home with the land. Oh my god, the gardens. There's a secret spot. There's a gazebo. There's a perennial garden in the front and perennial garden in the back, and it's at the end of a dead-end street that's there's just woods and there's train tracks, but then when you look west, it's all open, and I'm oh my god, the sun sets, and it's so in behind in it's family friendly neighborhood, but kind of industrial. So it's quiet and a lot of long open streets that don't have a lot of traffic. But then just down the road, there's this little hub. There's this little hub in the east end of the city that has 2 breweries, parks. There's a Greek place. There's the vintage shop I was talking about. There's the climbing center. There's my gym, my studio, a hot and cold, a run parlor. The factory's right there. There's so much. There's so much in this area, but this house is on a dead-end street with nothing behind it because there's train tracks, and you kind of can't get to it. You have to wind your way to it. And then there's perennial garden and huge hedges, and then a secret garden in the back, and it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And here it comes again, right? Let's tap into that emotionality. It's how do these things make you feel? Is it a resounding yes, or is it I'm just not sure? And it's my whole being is saying yes to life, yes to having this life that you want, and trusting that this magic will work. And it's funny, I'm just thinking about my husband, my beautiful partner. He has such an interesting, I love his perspective. I'm out there and I'm we gotta do the thing, we gotta manifest, we gotta meditate and do the yoga and do the da. And he's I don't want to have to do anything. I just want to slowly align with my path and deal with all the emotions and the struggles and the whatever, and eventually I'm just gonna get there. I feel we're the turtle and the frog, no, the turtle and the hare. And I feel I'm the little bunny, and I'm just the energizer, and I'm oh, I'm so far ahead in life, I'm just gonna take a nap. And then here's Josh, this beautiful turtle, who's just I'm just gonna walk this, I'm gonna get there eventually, even though he's way more fast-paced than me in a different way, because I'm the one that he gets so mad at me on walks because I'm always like stopping and talking to flowers and saying hello to dogs and people, and like I'm just like enjoying the experience. He's like, let's go, we gotta get from point A to point B to point this. But then when it comes to like overall life arcs, he's like, I'm just gonna let everything happen. He's just slow and deliberate, and I'm the one that's like trying to manifest all the things and trying to align quickly. And so we're a good pair. We balance each other out in so many regards. I think that we're like I say sometimes we're like the perfect and equal opposites. And I think that's why, you know, I've had a couple videos where I'm like, my relationship, and it's like, yeah, my relationship, but it's we all have to see ourselves in another, knowing that we are whole, of course, whole beings. But like, I believe that we're meant for partnership. Like, we're meant for co-creation. We're like, I believe that. And you know, and the thing about being such a sensitive soul is, like, you know, I have all of this that I tap into, and I'm like living in 1,000 dimensions where I'm like, but what dimension? Like, what if the dimension is supposed to be that I'm not supposed to be with this person, and like maybe he's not treating me in any bad way. He's like a little mean sometimes, but like I'm also a little mean sometimes. So, you know, I'm not perfect. And Josh, if you're listening, it's not that I don't want to say sorry for our podcast conversation. It's not about the podcast conversation that I want to say sorry for. What I'm sorry for is not being able to give you the quality of love that you require in this time. And I try to give it in the ways that I can, and I know that it's not quite what you need, and I know that I'm falling short, but you know, it's not for lack of trying, but I also struggle to really put my foot in the game, you know. I do struggle with that. I have a lot of Aquarius. My Venus is in Aquarius, and so okay, so perfect example. Just like out of the blue, right? Like, just out of the blue, he was leaving, and he was leaving, and I was like, I'm just gonna French kiss him. And I just like try to stick my tongue down his mouth, and then we bumped teeth, and he was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was just trying to be cute and lovey and show intimacy and give you a big old smooch. And then we tried to kiss again, and we bumped teeth again, and I was like, oh my god. So yeah, Venus in Aquarius, man. Oh, so relationships, they show you a lot about yourself. On that note, we're gonna sign off, get this day started. I'm gonna take the family out for coffee. Thank you, George. This one's from you. This one's for you. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world to be able to receive and then gift, because that's what I hope to do. I hope to receive and then gift. And being able to give to my community, my family, it just means a lot to me. So thank you for your support. If you're still watching, if you're still listening, thank you. Please consider subscribing. Please consider writing a comment or sending me an email. It's in my bio. I have a goal. I'm gonna stay. You know what? I'm gonna say it. I have a goal. And I'll tell you why. I have a goal. When you join YouTube, you have the ability to earn through YouTube, and I'm sure you've maybe seen this. So once you reach 500 subscribers and 300 watch hours, you then unlock the potential to create memberships and supers. So I think what you can do is you can go live and people can then write special comments, and they can donate to your channel, and you can make money through YouTube. We're not at the ads. I don't know how I feel about the ads yet. I'm interested what people think right now, because I'm sitting in a place, and that's like the next tier. Like we're not there yet. I think that's like thousands of subscribers and like so many watch hours. So we're not there yet. But like when I'm doing like a yoga video or a meditation, or even if I'm listening to a video and then like an ad, like 2 ads pop up, I'm like, oh, it just like pulls you out. It pulls you out of it, right? And to each their own. Like I believe that, you know, everyone's trying to make it in this world, and you know, YouTube is a great way to be able to, you know, bring in income to support yourself so that, you know, you can do this great work. So no judgment, but like I'm sitting in a place where if we reach that level, like I don't know if I feel comfortable inserting ads into my videos. So I'm interested to know what you think. Like, how does it make you feel when ads pop up in the middle of your videos? Let me know. What do you think? So my goal is to reach this first tier, and then I can do like membership areas, and like we can start to think about like what type of content and resources that you would like to see if you would like to support this channel, myself, and this vision. But this goal is going to allow me to circulate that money into my local community, into these resources for you. And like that makes me so excited. You know, I have my Buy Me a Coffee set up, and George, thank you. You know, I've been able to go buy a matcha and say, cheers, George. Like this is from you, and it means the world to me that in my world, I get to have my matcha and I get to support a local business. Feels amazing. It feels so amazing. And I just want that for this channel and for this quest, this project. I want to be able to bring that in, digest it, and then give it out to the community, right? How can I support the local people? How can I put that back into the YouTube community? Maybe we can start. I would love to do like by donations. Like we can figure out a charity. So we've spoke briefly about effective altruism, and you can pick like, and I'm gonna say high value, it's not the correct word, but high value charities, so that your money, like there's a website that you can go to, and for every $1 that you donate, there's like a percentage of it. It tells you what percentage of that actually goes to the cause and how much of it goes to like, you know, administrative, which is not bad, right? Like the charities, that less of the money goes to the actual cause, but they're supporting their operations, and that's still critical, right? These big organizations they employ so many people and they do so many things, so that money is still going to something good. But we can choose an organization or a charity that we want this money to go to, and we can donate that on behalf of our community, and like I just think that would be amazing. So let me know what you think. Thank you again, a million times thank you. I hope you have the most beautiful day, and we'll see you tomorrow.